Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I got a great story. We're going to talk about cars. We're going to talk about car prices. They are plummeting, but the narrative of this is totally wrong. Okay, we're going to go through the story. You guys know that I just bought a car. I am putting an offer in on a Shelby Cobra, the rebuilt one. A kit or a replica, right? This one was actually built by a company, and I'm putting in a severely lowball offer. It's how I get things very cheap. I know it sounds crazy because cars are going to get even cheaper, but these prices that I'm getting right now are like 20, 25% under wholesale right now. And I'm going to start putting together some information of how I do it, but it's going to get good and it's going to get even better. And how this story sort of spins it, they're making you think that we're going to drop below the inflation target. It's absolutely false, all right? So you've got to read through all of this sort of minutia. Check this out. Yahoo Finance, it's entitled, Used Car Prices in America Are Plummeting at the Fastest Pace Since the Pandemic, and that may drive June inflation below 3%. Let me stop right there. A lot of people are going to probably say, car prices aren't dropping where I am. Well, you don't know how to look and identify the deals, the desperate people, and just, that car that I just got 25% under wholesale, I got it from a dealer. Okay, and I'm not a dealer myself. I got it from a dealer, and I could identify the deal by the way that it was listed and where they were at selling cars. Okay, the fact of the matter is there's a lot of dealers that are in complete denial. They are not lowering their prices. Their flooring costs are through the roof, and they're scared. They don't understand the bigger picture here of what's going on in the economy, and they don't understand that they better take a cut now and be able to buy some new inventory cheaper. But they're not doing that, and their pride is what comes before their fall. End of story, okay? This is very simple. We're at the end of a business cycle. They don't get it, all right? We're seeing inventory explode. I've got to go do a story at my local GM dealership that has been literally blank and empty. It is totally packed with trucks. All right, here we go. It says, used car prices in America are plunging most since the height of the pandemic in 2020, and that's good news on the inflation front. Sliding costs of secondhand vehicles will help the Federal Reserve's fight to rein in consumer prices and could see the headline inflation number for June come in below 3%, according to some analysts. That would be the first since the March 2021. Now, we've already seen these inflation numbers come out. I've done many videos about that. I don't want to focus on that part of this story, okay? This is what I want to focus on. The Manheim Used Vehicle Value Index dropped to 215.1 in June, marking a 10.3% decline compared to a year ago. Now, that 10.3% decline is nothing in comparison to what a vehicle used to cost in 2018, 2019, before all this craziness started, okay? So just understand that. I totally understand where you want to type and you want to start typing it into the comment section. I get it. But look at let's separate and look at the bigger picture here. Meanwhile, wholesale used vehicle prices tumbled by 4.2% in June, the largest monthly fall since the COVID-19 pandemic. Used car prices will drop markedly in coming months in the CPI, helping core inflation materially lower. This comes from Andreas Steno Lawson, the CEO of Steno Research, said in a tweet, adding a research note that there could be a good chance of an inflation surprise below the 3% handle in headline terms. Let me stop there. I love talking about it, but I could care less about the headline numbers for inflation that the government's coming out with, all right? Yes, will these drop in car prices help the inflation numbers? Yes, and the reason why is because the government actually uses that as a metric to gauge inflation. But the two things that are more important than anything, actually three coming in third, these are the three things in order that matter the most to the consumer and that are going to cause car prices to plummet way further in the coming year and a half, even 2 years. Food, number one, is not only still higher, it's going higher. All right, food. Number two, energy. Keeping your house lit, keeping your house warm or cold, and cooking said food. That's number two. And number three, housing. I don't care. I mean, I do care. I love it. House prices are dropping, but the cost of buying that house and maintaining that house for repairs, insurance, taxes, and the cost of getting that mortgage is going up, or it's still elevated. So with those three things, it is going to keep inflation stubbornly high. The Fed's going to continue to raise rates, and it's going to put even more downward pressure on cars. This should be the time that you are saving and getting ready to buy cars. Now, a lot of people are gonna go, but Ninja, you bought a car. Well, I'm in a different position than some people, all right? I've been an investor since, 1998. I got into housing in 2001, and I've seen these cycles before. I've saved. I mean, you guys have heard my story many times. I don't wanna go through it, but I am in a little bit of different position. And yes, did I pull the trigger on something 25% under wholesale? Heck yeah, I did. You want to know why? Part of it is because I want to be able to show you guys, and I'm going to go through and document how I identified it and how I got that deal. Now, the fact of the matter is not everyone's going to buy a car like me, and I am not going to buy a car like other people, like Bugattis and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know why people would own those. But my point being is you guys have heard my list of cars: 69 Camaro, the Shelby Cobra, a remake, a replica. I could never see spending that much on the real thing, but I will buy a GT40 someday. I know I added that one, but it has been on my list. It's like an extended list for a long time. 69 Camaro, even like a 68Z Camaro would be awesome. But you've heard my list, right? I've got my list, you've got yours. Put hashtag the car, your dream car down below. I want to hear it. And even if it's just one that just runs good and gets good fuel mileage, there's nothing wrong with that, because I drove literally a driving washing machine for years, an old diesel Jetta. Sounded horrible, but it saved me money. I drove a 1991 Honda Civic, and this was after I became a millionaire. I was driving that back and forth to work, getting mocked by the guys, but I was the only guy that owned 2 cars, cash, and one was my commuter, and I bought it because it saved me money. So there's nothing wrong with wanting that. Nothing wrong with that. And at a certain point, my hope for you is that you get it, you have it, and you go, I want to do what the Ninja does, and I want to shoot for something higher, but only when I can afford it, pay cash, and I can afford it. Right? That's the key. All right, so let's dive back into the story, because this is where they're getting this story wrong. Should inflation, they say, fall below 3% thanks to falling used car prices, it would give a major boost to the Fed's efforts to bring down the pace of consumer price increases to its 2% target. That's because used car prices represented 33% of the 0.4% core inflation rate, which excludes food and energy costs. See my point? They're missing the point here. The U.S. inflation has more than halved since mid-2022, and when it hit 40-year highs, with the latest reading coming in at 4% for the year through May. This is a story. I got to stop right there. Years ago, I did a handful of videos on deflation doesn't happen all at once. Father Time just doesn't come in, yawn, wake up and go, you know what, we're going to switch off the light switch from inflation to deflation. It doesn't happen. You see deflationary spikes downward. This is what's happening now. I talked about it years ago, got mocked like crazy, said that you don't know what you're talking about. It happens all at once. No, the perception of the human being all of a sudden realizes something all at once when it's too late. But this is what we're seeing right now. Government inflation numbers are coming down because certain things are deflating, or crashing. End of story. And people don't get that. And this is what I want you to understand, because when it's time to pull the trigger, you're going to be pulling like, I'm not joking. And you're going to see this live on this channel. I will be buying cars in front of everyone. And there's going to be a lot of people that are pissed on hurt because they weren't prepared. I want literally 1 million of you prepared. So you're going to be getting excited and doing the same thing. I'm going to be buying a car collection. This is something I've wanted to do my entire life. And I've waited. And I said, I'm waiting no longer. This is the crash. This is the time. This should get you pumped. But to have that kind of patience and peace and that level of resolve to deal with people that say you're wrong, you have to have knowledge and understanding. Without knowledge and understanding of capital markets, social markets, business cycles, you can't make these decisions in a good, rational manner. And then when you do, oh gosh, you're going to be loving life. This is going to be awesome. Now, it says the central bank has hinted at more rate increases are on the way, but investors are worried that too much monetary tightening will tip the economy into recession. No, we're going into a mini depression. And the fact of the matter is, rates have to go higher because other countries don't want our dollar. That's the most important part. Guys, I can't wait for this. Let me know down below what your favorite car is. Hashtag it below, because then we can get more car enthusiasts into this channel, start getting them ready for it too, because it's not about competition. It's about saving our economy and saving our common man and helping them, right? And as you help people, you become great. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.